Welcome to Soul Tales Daily, where simple stories echo deep emotions. Joy, sorrow, greed, and glimpses of humanity. Stay a while, maybe you'll find yourself in one of them. Right finger hit subscribe and make every day a story to remember. Dizzy. The cobblestone streets were covered with a thin layer of rain like an old mirror. The yellow lights swayed on the water. The sound of a church bell rang somewhere in the mist. The sound seemed to pierce through time, gently awakening a sleeping soul. Emma Langford stopped in the middle of Beacon Street. She heard a faint call on the wind, like someone whispering her name with the warm breath of another century. "Emma, can you hear me?" She turned around in surprise, but only saw the mist drifting away like thin smoke. Since she was little, Emma had often dreamed of a man in a black suit, with dark brown hair and sad gray eyes. In the dream, he held her hand in the midst of a sea of fire and said, "If there is an afterlife, I will find you, even if this world burns down." She thought it was just a silly childhood dream, until today, the day she walked into the old cafe on the banks of the Charles River. Inside, the violin played Moonlight Serenade. She ordered a cappuccino, but when she looked up, Emma's heart stopped. In the corner of the room, a man sat reading a book, the light illuminating his brown hair and high nose. She recognized him immediately. There was no mistaking it. Those eyes, that look, belonged to the man in her dream. "Excuse me," she called softly. "Have we met before?" The man smiled, a sad smile like a distant memory. "Maybe, in a place where time no longer exists." His name was Lucas Hale, an architect who restored old houses. He spoke in a low, gentle voice like morning dew. From that day on, they saw each other every day, walking around the public garden, listening to the sparrows in the red maple trees. His every move made Emma's heart flutter, as if she had lived this life waiting for him to come back. But fate is never kind. One evening, when they went to the old house under renovation, Lucas paled suddenly. On the ash-covered wall, an old painting appeared. Two people embracing in a sea of fire. A man with a face exactly like his, and a woman with blonde hair like Emma. Beneath the painting were the scorched words, "Boston Fire 1872, love burned, soul imprisoned." She trembled. "Lucas, this is..." He nodded slightly. "I remember, Emma. In my previous life, I couldn't save you. The whole city was on fire, and I died holding you in my arms. My grandfather, he was the one who painted this picture." From then on, strange things began to happen. At night, Emma heard footsteps around the room, smelled smoke, and the shadow of an old man appeared in the mirror. Mr. Hale, Lucas's ancestor. His voice was hoarse. "You cannot break the curse. This love has reduced Boston to ashes. If you save her again, you will both perish." Lucas was frightened, but Emma held his hand tightly. "If love is a sin, then let me bear it with you." That night, a big storm broke out. The old house was struck by lightning and caught fire. In the midst of the blazing fire, Lucas pushed Emma out the door, and he went back to save the painting, where their souls were once trapped. "No, Lucas, don't go," she screamed. "You have to do this, to free us." The fire engulfed him, but in that moment, Emma saw him smile. Light washed over his face like dawn. The flames turned white gold, then to ash. She fainted in the wind's arms. When he woke up, it was morning. The house was all but a wet tile floor. The painting was gone. Lucas's body was never found. All that remained was a charred pocket watch. It stopped at exactly 11:11. Years later, Emma became an artist. She opened an exhibition called Fire and Soul. One foggy afternoon, as she was hanging her new painting, a pair of gray eyes hidden in the mist. A strange man walked in. He stood still for a long time, then smiled. "This painting, why does it make me miss it?" Emma turned around. She was stunned. Those eyes, they were Lucas's eyes. "Who are you?" "I don't know, but when I look at you, I feel strangely peaceful." She smiled, tears falling. "Perhaps we once went through a fire. And now, there is only light." Outside, the Boston fog was clearing. The church bells rang again, clear and long like a promise. And in that moment, their souls, after centuries of searching for each other, finally smiled in this life. True love is never burned, it is only tested by fear. When hearts are brave enough, souls will find each other, even through many lifetimes. Cherry blossom. If you believe that love transcends time and death, subscribe to hear stories that will touch your heart.